You're listening to Breakfast with Pablo.
G'day, Scotty Cummings here. You're listening to Pablo.
Trent Barrett here from the NRL.
G'day, this is Dipper, and you're listening to Pablo, who's looking after the Spirit.
On Spirit 1260 Karratha.
The team from Karratha travelled down to Perth to compete. Rourke, I'm a little bit sore and I'm a little bit weary. I need to pick me up because you're a bloke that when I turn to for inspiration, for some kind words, you're usually my number one call right after my mum.
I'm happy to oblige, and again, I think I'll start by pointing out you mentioned the word compete. Probably the rest of the guys did a pretty good job of competing. Yourself, not so sure. I mean, you're out there, but you know that competitive spirit tends to fade when you get on in years a bit. And being, one of the elder statesmen of the team, more weary, in a bodily sense, I think that competing was maybe overselling it slightly.
One of the big factors was defence, and I think I can significantly point out I committed to defence on 2 possessions in the entire tournament of comprising of 7 games, and actually at one point even the coach yelled out, Pablo, it'd be good if you tried defence for once. I blame this on the knees, Rourke.
You'd be lucky to have half a knee out of 2. That's probably being a bit generous. So to say that you don't have lateral movement, probably an overstatement.
Well, to be fair to us, the Karratha team, we went all the way to the grand final and we lost the men's ones. We lost to Albany for the 3rd year in a row. Bit disappointing to lose it. And, I talked to you last week on the old text messages, quite confident.
Well, I don't know why you've brought this up because it's triggered my memory. There was at least one member of the team who will remain unnamed. Well, no, he won't actually. It was you. You were texting me, basically talking up the Welcome Home Parade. You said that Sharp Avenue would be closed for a week, and you and the boys would just be doing laps with the streamers and the banners, girls just throwing themselves at you, and basically the full works for a winning grand final championship team. It would appear as though you haven't quite delivered on that.
Well, I do need to sort of point out, I need to say sorry to especially all the workers at the Karratha TAV because, we work opposite and, I had a lot of the workers out there repaint the bus and everything, and Sharp Avenue was lined with kids. They all took the day off school yesterday to go out there and line the streets, and obviously we didn't bring home that championship. So apologies to everyone in the Pilbara that sort of was out there the heat of the day expecting the bus to come through. We didn't do it, but we did get a medal. We did get the runners-up medal.
There you go.
It brings an interesting point, Rourke, for yourself as well. I mean, you played last year in the MPFL. You played for the Karratha Cats, and you've got a few extra kilos on yourself, and you struggled through last year's season. When is the right time to retire? And I think on the way home, getting the flight back from Perth, and having my knees severely wrapped, and going through 3 bottles of deep heat, it's kind of like the light is at the end of the tunnel for my basketball career.
There's a simple sort of rule that I think applies to when you should reply. I mean, I've heard stories from you in the past on various basketball trips where you've asked the kind stewardess on the plane for some ice for your wrist and your hand because you've had a hot hand all tournament and you've been draining buckets. But when that request switches to ice for the knees and the back and the legs and basically everything except the hand, which was stone cold throughout the tournament, that's when it's about time to call it. So I think you're making the right decision. Congratulations on your career and well played, old boy.
The big congratulations to everyone that did go down to Country Week basketball. The women's ones went all the way to the grand final as well and lost to Mantra, and the veterans team just missing out in the grand final, and the other 2 women's teams did very well but didn't make the final. So on a serious note, well done to everyone that did compete for Karratha down at Country Week basketball.
Breakfast with Pablo.